are the rules. Over a good clean fight, shake hands, and good luck to you both.
Well, the talking ends, the big build-up is over. It's been gentlemanly, it's been classy, but both fighters have promised that they intend to start this fast. There could be real fireworks in these first couple of rounds.
I think the first 6 rounds are very important for Macklin. He has to take as much out of the tank of Sturm as he can do. I reckon if they both go tired in this fight, then Matthew Macklin becomes the big favourite, because he's shown he can dig out a result. He can grind one out. We've never seen Sturm really have to do that.
Well, the referee tried to start it, and believe it or not, we've got a problem with the bell. Macklin had actually started to make his way out to centre ring, ready for the action to start. A problem with the bell being sounded. And Stanley Christodoulou is saying to the two fighters, just stay calm, just wait a moment. Crazy.
Well, everything's usually so well organised over in Germany. Don't tell me they've forgotten a bell. I wouldn't believe that. Here it is.
Well, there we are, they found it. It's off. The WBA middleweight title underway. The classy boxer against a very intelligent, focused Matthew Macklin, who really does. He's persuaded me, he really believes that he's got the tools to win this one.
Well, he's landed a couple of decent body shots already behind the elbows. That's the target. There goes another one. Sturm likes to block punches. He doesn't move away. He doesn't slip them. So they're not quite so tiring when your punches are hitting something. But Sturm has shown already that he wants the centre of the ring. He wants to, his normal fight is with a tight guard coming forward, but he's offering some target behind the elbows, and Macklin has taken it a couple of times.
Probably a good time for me to tell you as well that this is WBA rules, and there is a 3 knockdown rule. 3 knockdowns in a round, and the fight's over. Referee says just watch the heads, and if there are cuts, and the fight is stopped before the 4th on an accidental clash of heads, then we get a technical draw.
Good work from Macklin. Sturm is not doing enough work here to take this round so far, so unless he's going to put the pedal down in the last minute or so, but he's just standing in front of Macklin, not doing enough. This is an excellent start from Macklin. Body shots working.
Body shots, Macklin believes, are going to soften up Sturm. There's that much vaunted jab, the jab which Oscar De La Hoya had so much trouble with when they fought way back in 2004. Many people at ringside feeling that Sturm should have got that decision against Oscar De La Hoya, but De La Hoya, with the fight against Bernard Hopkins coming up, got the verdict on the judges' cards. This is good, though, from Macklin.
It's good upper body movement, too. He's not just standing in front of Sturm. He's moving from the waist. Sturm's digging in some quality punches now. It's taken a little bit too long to get started in the opener.
Well, the first 2 minutes of the opening round over. There's the left hook of Sturm, just off target this time. Macklin camp were aware not only of the jab, but the way in which he could turn the shot into the left hook, and also that classy right jab, which he landed, right cross rather, which he landed there, and landed with a little bit of power, which just was a reminder to Macklin about what Sturm has.
Well, Sturm knows that the Macklin camp do not look upon him as a puncher, so he'll maybe want to hurt Macklin in the opener rounds. He dug in a couple of solid shots there, but I think Macklin has done enough to win the opener. He's outworked Sturm. Sturm coming back with some quality work now, but too little, too late, I feel.
And there's a reddening around the ribcage of Sturm already from these hooks from Macklin. He started fast, and he's really gone well in this opening round. A little bit of reddening on the left cheek of Macklin, but this has been really good work from the challenger. We wondered about whether he'd settle quickly into this fight. That's precisely what he's done. Good round for Macklin. Maybe the champion, who's got a little bit of an abrasion across the bridge of his nose, maybe he was just taking a look at Macklin just to see what he got to offer. Maybe, but he lost a round.
Yep, if he had any doubts about how serious Matthew Macklin is about this challenge, then he knows now. Excellent opening round from Matthew.
Second round underway, and Macklin needs to build on this. The tactics are working so far. What an astute tactician Joe Gallagher has shown himself to be. They've studied films of Sturm when he struggled, when he lost to Javier Castillejo, when he struggled as well in other fights. Against Randy Griffin when he only had the draw. They believe that there are flaws which they can exploit. Sturm now has got to get himself into this fight.
Leading with the right hand there, Sturm. Setting himself, trying to put a bit more snap into his punches, but Macklin still busy, still finding the body, finding the head.
And that's good from Macklin, switching attack from body to head beautifully. And they're cheering him on and applauding in the corner, living every moment with him. He's got Paul Smith, who's been his sparring partner, in there admiring his work and clapping his hands as he landed those shots, switching the attack beautifully.
See, I think it's a problem for Sturm, the fact that he blocks punches, he doesn't move away or slip inside them. So it always looks as though the other guy is that little bit busier, so he's going to have to up his work rate. Even at home, we know Matthew's not going to get any favours over here, but he really has started well, Macklin.
Macklin was the betting outsider, of course, in this, as you'd expect. Germany, such a difficult place to come away with a result, but the IBF champion Sebastian Sylvester beaten here not so long back, and you heard Johnny Nelson saying yes, he's come over here, he's won it, and it can happen. Macklin knows he's got to win big, and he told me beforehand that he thought that he would not only beat Sturm, but that he would stop him. Well, if he does so, what a performance that would be, and what a boost for British boxing. That's so much better though for Sturm, but Macklin takes it well.
Yeah, and comes back with something which is important. Answer everything. It's an up-close fight. This is Macklin's kind of fight. He couldn't have dreamed for a better start.
Started fast in previous fights, though. I can think notably against Jamie Moore, and ran out of gas. But in those days, he was a light middleweight, said that he suffered cramps in his legs and that he had to really suck it up in the later rounds and was unable to put the foot on the gas when it mattered, and wound up losing that fight. But little signs in this round that Sturm's starting to get into it.
Yeah, little signs that he may be punching a little bit harder than his record suggests. He was digging a couple of decent right hands there. He'll want to show as soon as he possibly can, the Macklin camp, that he does have the power at this level.
Interesting round. Sturm in the closing stages of it has thrown one or two purposeful shots. Macklin dominating the early exchanges, but Sturm just starting to come back. That's a lovely right hand up to the break, into the rib cage of Sturm, who just blinks, takes it well. Looks so well organised in there, doesn't he? Nothing shocks him, nothing surprises him. Seen it, done it before, but Macklin going well again.
Side, all right. You've seen the right hook in the scope to come. The right uppercut will come after that time.
They're very pleased in the Macklin corner about what's going on, Jim.
Yep, I think they should be. Sturm to come back with a few worrying punches in that round. They caught Matthew cleanly. Showed that maybe he does have the power to trouble him, but again, I don't feel he did enough work. I think Macklin outworked him for the greater part of the second round. I have him 2 points up.
And the Macklin camp think that Sturm is already struggling to take the power of the challenger. If he keep it up like this for 12 rounds, well, we might be seeing a new British world champion, but a long, long way to go.
Sturm enjoys counter-punching, but he's going to have to change, because I don't reckon this is working. Macklin is not throwing single shots, so it's difficult to counter against this kind of attack. Macklin's tactics really spot on at the moment, still looking for the body.
He's throwing punches in clusters, Jim, and the lovely way in which he's bringing that's a good hand from Sturm, but Macklin takes it well. That's Sturm's best punch.
Yep, Macklin landed a left hook at the same time, John. They both landed. Sturm's jab looking a little bit more potent.
Macklin really throwing those hooks well, getting around the back of the arms of Sturm, like that. Better from Sturm, couple of hooks by way of response.
Macklin's just maybe careful that the punches don't wander too far rounds here. That jab against Sturm, beginning to get some snap into it.
Body punches from Macklin, and again the applause from his corner. He started really fast, though. Only in the third round, it's going to be a test of the stamina. He says that he's fitter than he's ever been, that he's put the track work in, recorded wonderful times, put in numerous rounds of sparring. But now it's for real, and he's got to keep up this pace, because Sturm knows what to do.
He's more accurate now, Sturm. He's picking his moments now. He's digging the shots in. He's not hitting arms. He's not hitting the top of the head. He's finding the target. Still economical, but quality about his work now.
Couple of good jabs from Sturm, doubling up well, but Macklin bullying him back into his own corner. Sturm keeping the tight defence.
Yeah, Macklin still setting the pace, but Sturm certainly has improved his work. Cute little counter from him.
Lovely right hand, but Macklin keeps coming, keeps bullying him back, keeps throwing power shots of his own. But this pace that Macklin's setting, it's sure to be taking something out of him. Stanley Christodoulou saying, just watch the heads.
Some quality work again from Sturm in this round. He's finding the space now. Matthew's giving him just a little bit too much room at times. Maybe Sturm's making that room for himself. Maybe just that little half step back. Excellent round this. This is
what a good round. What a good round indeed. And right up to the bell. Big attack from Macklin. It's getting the crowd on their feet. It's getting the applause of his corner. And Sturm turns in beautifully and lands shots of his own. What a dramatic round that was. Quality stuff. We said that this fight had all the ingredients of making an absolute cracker. It's got the styles to make it, the clash of styles sometimes, well maybe, but this is looking like a blend of styles. This is going to be a terrific fight.
Yeah, I think that round was either quality or quantity. Matthew still doing most of the work, but a lot of quality work come back from Sturm. The better punching from Sturm, the eye-catching stuff, this is what you saw. I mean, really, Matthew, maybe just giving him a little bit too much time to get his own punches off. A few times Sturm was making him miss as well, but the work rate, maybe not finding cleanly the target the way Sturm was doing.
Well, that was a difficult one to score. Felix Sturm had quality moments. Macklin threw terrific numbers of punches as well. Those sort of rounds can be absolutely key, Jim. Who did you give that one to?
I argue with myself for almost the break there, but I've just clipped it towards Sturm for the better quality punching. He was blocking a lot of Macklin's stuff, but his stuff, there was no problem. It was landing cleanly.
Well, it's a close one, and I wouldn't like to second-guess the judges on that one. It may be that it's gone Macklin's way, but remember, Sturm the champion, and we are in Germany. Macklin's younger brother, Seamus, came across between rounds. He's in that corner, of course, or close to it, and he wanted to know how we were scoring it. And I told him that we had Macklin ahead. It's better from Sturm.
I think maybe Macklin's surprised with the snap and Sturm's punches. A couple of times he's been knocked sideways from them. So Sturm, I think, hits a little bit harder than they expected.
Sturm had a wonderful amateur record, very, very well-schooled boxer. He won 113 out of 122 amateur contests. He was European champion, became WBO champion in only his 19th. That's a good right hand from Macklin, and Sturm's chin is being tested here as well.
I think Sturm is trying to make Macklin miss more often as opposed to blocking the shots, because he's not been able to get the counters off the way he likes if he blocks, so he's trying to slip. But still a good start to the round again from Macklin, work rate-wise, but the cute, the clever stuff again coming from the champion.
Felix Sturm unbeaten for nearly 5 years, as indeed is Macklin. Sturm has remained undefeated since then, and that's good from the champion. Beautiful the way he switched the attack to the head.
I don't know if Macklin's finding the snap in the punches, the kind of thumping punches, but Sturm's look that little bit sharper, don't they?
I hope he's not thrown too much into those early rounds, because it might be that he pays the penalty. This is going to be tough. It's going to be gruelling. Sturm hasn't been moved yet. He's giving ground, but he's not been hurt.
Punch is still coming from Macklin. The work rate is good, but I don't see the snap. Is he getting a little bit too close? That's better. That's much better.
And again, he said he'd throw punches in 4s and 5s. Well, he's thrown them in 8s, 9s and 10s. Sturm tries to push him back, tries to bully him back, but Macklin is insistent.
You saw a difference in the quality in Macklin's punches with that little burst. They weren't pushing punches, he got the snap into them. That was excellent. Work rate still good.
Good uppercut inside from Sturm. Macklin takes it well and is wanting to be seen as the aggressor in the closing seconds of this fourth round. Good work again from Sturm. Toe-to-toe action right up to the bell. Tremendous stuff once more. At the moment, Jim, it looks as though the work rate of Macklin is prevailing, but signs that the accuracy of Sturm, like that shot there, is still able to bring him back.
Well, that's what's impressing me on that card, the work rate of Macklin. But the man showing the improvement in the previous round was without doubt Felix Sturm. And it does look as though he has a bit more power on his punches than I was expecting.
Into the fifth of the WBA middleweight title fight here at the Lanxess Arena in Cologne. And Matthew Macklin, who's pursued his dream for the last decade of becoming a world champion, and when those around him have said, you're not really world class, he said, yes, I am. And he, at the moment, is doing what's required against Sturm.
I'm surprised Sturm hasn't led off more often. Usually, we know he has an excellent jab. I wonder why he has not used the strongest weapon in his arsenal, is beginning to try to use it now. But the jab is the perfect tactics for a man coming straight forward the way Macklin is.
I'm sure Macklin and Joe Gallagher would say, because he's been beaten to the punch and because he's worried about the body shots and the power that Macklin put on him in the early stages. But this is the point at which Macklin's got to maintain that. He can't afford to take his foot off the gas and allow Sturm to begin to dictate.
Well, I reckon the important part of the... Oh, beautiful shot from Sturm. See, that's what we remember. You're worried about the judges remembering those kind of punches at the end of the round, at the end of a close round. But real quality in his work.
Good shot again from Sturm. Rocked back the head of Macklin, but he takes it well.
See, the big difference is that Macklin is taking the punches cleanly. Sturm is always in that tight defence, partially blocking. Body shots possibly have taken something out of Sturm.
It's a tight peekaboo style that Sturm has.
Heads coming together.
And he's forced to give ground again, Sturm. Macklin has him back in his own corner. That's better from Sturm.
Still, Macklin maintaining that work rate, which is very important. If he starts backing off, if he starts standing off, then this fellow will take over with some quality work from the champion in this round too.
Excellent right hands from Sturm. The right hook followed by the uppercut. And Macklin, talented all-round sportsman, used to play hurling for his county over in Ireland, and his youth played for County Tipperary. He's got that natural coordination, that natural athleticism. He's going to need it.
It was the wrong angle at the moment, but I thought there was a little red mark in Sturm's left eye. We want to see when he comes round. But I think he's okay. Just thought maybe there was a cut there. Good work again.
Macklin's closer than anybody. He'll know what effect these punches are taking out of Sturm, but I thought there was a little bit of a tired look about the champion when he sank back onto those ropes momentarily.
Macklin digging in again, having the last word, which is so important in this kind of battle.
Well, what a terrific last 10 seconds and another really good round. Tailored the body language as we move towards the sixth round, Jim. The champion, Felix Sturm, is slumped on his stool, and he doesn't have the look of a winner at the moment.
Well, before the fight started, Macklin knew this was going to be tough. I think Felix Sturm has found out now. It's just dawning on him. And is he prepared for this kind of fight? He's never been through this kind of fight before. He's never come out and talked in a fight like this. So he's been asked to do something tonight we haven't seen him do before.
Matthew Macklin was to have fought Winky Wright. That one fell through. He was to have fought Coran Gebor. That one was called up in April. Then this. He's been in the gym effectively for the better part of 6 months. Felix Sturm, if he has had to take off 30 pounds or more, as we've heard suggested, well, he must be feeling the pace. He's got to be.
I'm still surprised that he's not leading off more off, and he's still allowing Macklin to take the play away, and long may this continue.
Look at the way Sturm's breathing so heavily. Quality uppercut, though. A reminder for Macklin, the right hand was a good one, but it's a single shot.
And he has done nothing to stop the march forward of Macklin. Macklin has tightened up his own defences up a little bit, which is good news. He's maybe going to have to cut the work rate down slightly. The trouble is, in close rounds, we can't expect Macklin to get the nod. So winning rounds clearly is going to take so much out of the tank. Nice little feints from Macklin.
Got a bit of bruising underneath the right eye. Macklin always marks up. He's got that very pale Irish sort of skin. Mum, Kathleen, Dad Seamus, both Irish. And that's good work again from Macklin.
So important what Macklin did there. He took a couple of solid shots, but come straight back, landed a low one there, come straight back to show Sturm. I'm not impressed. Yeah, that one did land low from Macklin.
The right eye is starting to swell up of Matthew Macklin's. And Nick Williamson, renowned cornerman, he's going to be earning his money. He's just watching on from the corner to see what the damage is. At the moment it's under the eye, but it is under that right eye, just starting to swell.
Still Sturm not looking all that happy, still not leading off, still not trying to take charge. Still wrongly for me fighting Macklin's kind of fight.
Joe Gallagher said to me that if Sturm is behind at 6 rounds, has to chase the fight, he doesn't think that he's got the engine to do it. Well, it would be a fairly perverse piece of judging for me that would have, that's a good shot from Sturm, but a single shot, and back comes Macklin. The perverse judging for me, which had the champion ahead at this stage.
Now, as I've said, Sturm has never had to batter like this. So I'm surprised at his tactics. I thought he would have changed by now. I thought he would have used a bit more movement, tried to get a bit of space between himself and Macklin. He hasn't done that. He's trying to hit Macklin, landing good punches there again, but still been outworked.
This is a big effort from Sturm. Mouth hanging open. He's having to really suck it up here in this 6th round. He's having his moments, and that's a good right hand from the champion, but still Macklin comes forward. Another tight round. Maybe Sturm doing enough. Close one. And you've given it to Macklin, Jim.
Yeah, I still think the work rate, he did not stop working in that round. Possibility that he could have scored that one level, there wasn't much to split them. It's just what worries me as far as the judges are concerned is a lot of the accurate stuff from Sturm. But look at this from Macklin. That was just after taking a couple of shots from Sturm. He come back with the answer, that's what he had to do.
People coming across and asking us how we've got it, and we've got Matthew Macklin ahead. Sturm, the champion. Kel Brook and Ryan Rhodes watching in ringside in Sheffield. And there'll be huge interest around the country in this one as well. And what a popular win it would be as well if Macklin pulled this off. Certainly in the UK and, of course, in Ireland. Moving into the second half of the fight. Felix Sturm has been 12 rounds on 12 occasions. Macklin just once.
Well, counter-punching hasn't been working for Sturm the way he would expect it would have done. So you would expect him to change the tactics. He's the one who has to change tactics, get the punches off quicker, use the jab, which is his best weapon, but we're hardly seeing that.
Macklin's got to find a way, though, to keep up the pressure. He can't let Sturm get into a rhythm, get into a comfort zone and start doubling up on the jab and start controlling the fight at range. That would be the way to allow Sturm back into it.
I mean, that's what you would expect it from Sturm, just the old-fashioned 1-2 left jab followed with the right hand, but he's not giving himself any room to deliver those kind of punches. You know, Macklin is all over him. You think a man with his experience could find some space for himself, but he can't seem able to do it.
The support of the German crowd is certainly muted. Most of the roars of encouragement are coming from the Irish and British contingent. And Sturm is enjoying more success in this 7th round as we've moved into the second half of the fight.
Trying to get the jab working, Sturm, but still Macklin unimpressed.
Two of them land almost simultaneously, but it's Macklin having absorbed one who comes back and throws 4 or 5 and keeps up the attack. That right hand was only just out of range, and Sturm beckoned him in to give more.
Well, they both landed good punches, but Sturm was the one who went immediately onto the defensive. Macklin the offensive. That's a big sign at this stage in this kind of fight.
Well, Macklin is really going well at this stage. Sometimes, a couple of times in the past, he's had to dig deep. Remember his last fight against Ruben Baron and struggled in the closing stages, although he said afterwards that he'd been suffering from a virus. I just wonder, we talked about Sturm's power and about his strength, but I think Sturm has maybe been surprised by the physical strength of Macklin. But that's a good right hand for the champion.
See, Sturm is so good defensively, he doesn't take too many shots cleanly. So his chin is never really tested. But Macklin is still pouring the punches. No real signs of the pace troubling Macklin as yet.
No, I think if anybody has struggled to stay this pace, it's been Sturm. But I do think that Macklin's just taken his foot off the gas a little in this 7th round. Maybe just had a little bit of a breather. Close round, difficult to score. Quality work for me, though, is coming from Sturm. Well, here we go with some of the exchanges from that 2nd round. Both fighters having to dig deep now.
Yeah, well, the main thing Macklin had to do was draw Sturm into his kind of battle, and he's done that right from the off, and he's coped with it so well. And Macklin has done this before, he's used to doing it. And what was so important in that round, although I felt Sturm produced a lot of good work, when they exchanged punches, Sturm was the one who straight away went onto the defensive. Macklin picked it up straight away, wanted to keep the action flowing. So he has the psychological edge, I feel, at the moment.
Felix Sturm, vastly experienced coach. Felix Sturm has been a professional since 2001, same longevity in the ring and among the paid ranks as Matthew Macklin. But he is the older man at 32, starting this round quickly. Macklin just jigs around, trying to get a bit more mobility into his legs. He's really gambled a lot by starting so fast and winning those early rounds in this fight. Is Sturm now going to start to get into a rhythm and start to dictate and start to narrow the gap?
Trying to use the jab now, which his main weapon. Where has it been up until now?
Macklin allowing Sturm to lead off first.
See, he's finding a room now. Sturm is getting the punches off first, getting them off a split second quicker, giving them some room to deliver the shots, the straight punches. Surprised that it's taken him so long to switch his tactics.
Perhaps the Macklin corner, though, knows that he has a cushion of rounds at this stage. They said that Sturm had been looking beyond this towards a possible unification fight against the very, very impressive Sergio Martinez. If so, they said, big mistake. Important phase of the fight, you said, Stu.
Yeah, this is the tough part of the fight, round about the middle stages, because this is when it's tough and you've almost the same time ahead as you have behind. So this is when character comes into it. But Sturm is proven at one level, and we know if it comes down to heart, that Matthew Macklin will never be found wanting.
The sweat across the shoulders of the blue shirt of the referee tells you how hot it is here in this ultra-modern, beautiful arena in Cologne, the Lanxess Arena.
Seen some nice boxing from Sturm at long range in this round. He spent longer at long range in this round probably than all the other ones put together, and that suits Sturm. He's trying to slow the pace down. He doesn't like this. He's not comfortable with it.
Now Macklin in the closing minutes of this round will try to pour on the pace and try and catch the judge's eyes.
Not the accuracy I feel from Macklin in this round.
Sturm's just been allowed to get back into his comfort zone over the last couple of rounds. Got that space because Macklin isn't in his face throwing the big hooks as he was earlier on. and he's now not throwing the punches and clusters of 5s and 6s as he was. More the 1 or 2 big shots and then back, and giving Sturm the space to throw that so impressive left-hand lead.
You just feel that Macklin has to win rounds convincingly over here to be sure he's going to get them. This is an arguable round, and Sturm has produced some lovely work.
I think Sturm might have taken this one, Jim. Boxing well, and he's closing the gap. It's getting nearer. You got it by a couple of rounds to Macklin.
Yeah, I think Sturm was better. Was what impressed in that round. The Macklin still has the work rate, but maybe beginning for the first time just to force things a little bit. What an effort it has been from Macklin up to now.
Let's have a listen in that corner.
You're coming in there, yeah, there's nothing wrong. Don't keep coming wide, it's straight in front of you. You landed a great straight 1-2 down the middle. Quickest point A to B, straight down the middle. Bam, 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 bang, and tight. He'll come wide and you count. Straight down the middle. Come on, round 9, all right? You can do this, do you hear me? You're fit. You're fit. Come on. Don't feel.
We've got to do this videos in the run-up to
Don't
this,
do anything silly.
including Marvin Hagler when he beat Alan Minter in 1980 at Wembley. We talked about LaMotta and Robinson, about Carmen Basilio, about Ray Leonard, all world middleweight champions. Matthew Macklin, a great student of the sport, and there's the scorecard, 77 to 75 in Macklin's favour. That's how Jim's got it. Some of those rounds have been close as ever. Macklin cannot afford to allow Sturm to take these last rounds.
Now this is a different Felix Sturm who's come off the stool for this round. But is he just trying to make a point? Or can he sustain it? These are vicious punches from Sturm.
Good body shots as well from Macklin. You heard the words of inspiration from Joe Gallagher between rounds. He was trying to instill the belief into Macklin that you've done the work, you've got the fitness, you've got the core fitness to stay with Sturm and to actually match everything that's thrown at you in these closing rounds.
Must deal with the jab. Sturm at long last, I can't believe he's taken this long to start bringing it into play. But now he needs Macklin at arm's length, and he's trying to use the jab to achieve that.
Macklin getting inside, perhaps realising that this is likely to go 12 rounds. Perhaps psychologically he's trying to conserve a little bit, knowing that it's going to go all the way to the line. Macklin, good boxing as he forces Sturm backwards. Lovely doubling up on the jab by Sturm. Gun shields out, yeah. So back to the corner, it's Macklin's. Boost in the crowd, but I don't think there's any sense of an old Prozac there.
No, Macklin would never want to break the action. It's his kind of fight. He's relishing this.
He has got such heart, Matthew Macklin, and he said as well, one of his eye-catching quotes, he's such an articulate fighter, he said, true greats sometimes have to let their hearts rule their heads. He's got the best laid tactics, but it's getting to the stage of the fight now where it's going to be about heart and belief.
Well, Sturm not looking as smooth as he was in the first minute of this round, but another real tough round for both of these guys. Good work from Macklin.
And he's starting to pile it on in the last 30 seconds of this, the 9th round. So much intensity in the work of Matthew Macklin.
I know Sturm is not enjoying this kind of fight, but I don't really see any signs of weakness or tiredness in his work. He's still looking good, but that was a good run for Macklin.
Well, you're giving that one to Macklin. 3 rounds to go. And you've got the margin at 3 points.
Yeah, well, I thought Sturm started the round well with some classy stuff, but Matthew drilled back into his kind of fight. And you can see he's not happy. In the first minute, he was producing some really classy work. But that really was a tough round, a close round, and the kind of round you'd expect the judges to be swaying with Sturm. I'm calling it as I see it. That was the gum shield coming out, obviously purely accidental, although the crowd booed a little bit about that.
Close round though, Jim, that one.
That was close.
Those are the rounds.
I'll be honest,
key.
yeah, that's the kind of round that you would expect Sturm to get the benefit of the doubt. I've just been so impressed with the work rate of Macklin.
Well, we've got Macklin ahead. 3 rounds to go, and the way we've scored it, it's Macklin's to lose. Sturm, unquestionably though, in the last 4 or 5 rounds, has come more into his sort of fight.
Yep, he's using the long punches. Nice little right hand lead foot from him as well. So he's finding time, he's finding space. This is the dangerous part of fights for Macklin. We've seen him fade in the past. We know he claimed he wasn't in full health last time out, but he faded in the only 12 rounder we've seen him in, and he can't afford to fade now. These are good punches coming from Sturm.
One or two people at ringside saying that they've got it closer than we have, that Sturm is right in here. It might be that these last 3 rounds can decide it one way or the other.
See, I think it's the quality of Sturm that would impress some people. You know, Macklin's been throwing punches without a lot of thought, you know, just at his work rate, but this is really classy stuff from Sturm now.
Standing tall, trying to control centre ring, throwing in that hurtful right-hand cross. Macklin still trying to walk Sturm down.
Sturm's throwing the better punches at this stage in the battle, I think. That's better from Macklin.
Good uppercuts, lovely shot from Sturm. Macklin only with that 1-12-rounder behind him in his last fight. He's got to believe, he's got to know that he can stay right to the finishing line. Big effort again from Macklin.
Yep,
minute to go in this 10th.
Good rally there, but it's been Sturm's round up until now. And Sturm's still looking strong, the legs are strong, the reflexes are still good. He's kept his boxing together. So, has Macklin made a big enough dent in him? Doesn't look like it.
This is a good round for Felix Sturm. Macklin powering it on. Sturm beckons him in, inviting him to attack so he can plant the counter. Turned in well out of the corner. Big uppercut from Sturm. Terrific shot. And the cross. Back comes Macklin, fighting on instinct.
Sturm could not be catching Macklin any cleaner with these shots. His mouth is open, Sturm. He's winning this round, but it's using up a lot of steam in doing so. He's having a big round. Macklin coming back in the last minute, but this really has been a quality round.
Clumping right hands from Sturm, and the uppercut again, but Macklin takes it. Tremendous heart. He holds his arm aloft to his fans in the audience. All around, people are standing up and applauding these two fighters, but Sturm had a big round.
Yeah, an important part of the contest too. You would have felt that Macklin would have been the one who would have lasted the pace better, but he's thrown so many punches, so many of his shots have been blocked, but he's always taken the initiative in every round, Macklin. But that was the first time really when you had no question whatsoever that Sturm had won it. Lots of the rounds were close, he was producing quality work, but maybe not enough of it. But in that round, it was quantity and quality from the champion.
Sturm is certainly coming back into it. The experience which has kept him at the top for such a long time, is it going to keep him as the WBA Super Champion? Macklin a bit slow coming out of his corner. Needs a big round, you sense, just to stem the tide which is coming from the champion. There's the way how Jim's got it. That's the scorecard by a couple of rounds. I wouldn't be surprised if it was closer than that.
Look at the jab of Felix Sturm. And this is where boxing at home is so important. This is where the crowd get behind you and lift you. And they're trying to do that for Felix Sturm. He still looks to have plenty in the tank, Sturm. This is quality work from Sturm.
Good work from Sturm. There's blood seeping from his mouth, but he is dominating the early exchanges of this penultimate round. What a fight this has turned out to be. Macklin still inspired by the pursuit of the dream. Applauded by his corner for this attack. Has to maintain it. This is where Sturm wants to just buy a bit of time.
Yes, Sturm breathing with his mouth open. They're both entitled to be so tired. But Macklin, he has the heart to keep pushing himself forward.
The story of this fight was the early dominance of Matthew Macklin, the tremendous body shots in the early stages, not allowing Sturm to get into a rhythm, to work behind that jab, and then in the second half, Sturm has come back, classy boxing, but does he not done enough?
These are beautiful punches from Sturm. Really is a touch of class.
Sturm fighting as well with the champion's resolve. This is his show in front of his people.
Macklin just trying to drive himself forward. There's not a lot of purpose now that Macklin's doing. It's just sheer fighting heart that we know he possesses.
There's a good right hand in there in that exchange from Sturm. Macklin through 4 or 5 and now being told for use of the shoulder by the vastly experienced South African referee. And there it is again.
Another round where Sturm really has produced some quality.
Macklin though trying to power on the pressure in the closing 20 seconds. He'll have that inbuilt clock in his head. Well, you take your cap off to these two lads. They have produced a tremendous fight.
Well, we knew it would be a cracker. Macklin's never in a bad fight, but this is probably even better than we expected because Sturm stood his ground for the 12 rounds, which we didn't expect.
The accuracy of Felix Sturm or the volume of Macklin, we give it to Sturm.
You've got to keep composed, let it hit the arms, let it hit the gloves, and when he stops, son, you've got to go, what was the purpose of this camp? To burst his lungs.
The right eye of Felix Sturm cut. There's the punch has landed. 139 to 131 for Macklin. It's as close as that.
Well, that's as close as I've got. I still have Macklin clinging on to a 1-point lead going into the last round. But the trouble is, the fight has turned away from Macklin in the last couple of rounds. So really, he needs whatever he has left in the tank, he has to pour it out this round.
Bodney, who's a familiar voice to Sky viewers, he's got this one to Sturm by 1. Jim's got it to Macklin by 1. It could go either way. These last 3 minutes could determine which way this world middleweight title fight is going to go. Been a privilege to watch it.
There's that right-hand lead of Sturm again. He really is a classy operator.
Certainly not beyond the bounds of possibility that this is going to finish as a draw. But we are in Germany. Home advantage and all that.
Oh, beautiful shot from Sturm.
Good work from the champion. Macklin trying to rally.
Sturm has been a different fighter for the last quarter of this fight. Produced some real quality back behind that tight defence again, doubling the left hook.
Macklin still trying to find the head, and look at the work rate of the challenger. If he doesn't get this one, as ever, he has left absolutely nothing in the gym, nothing in reserve. He has given it his all. Good shots from Sturm. And another cracking right hand from the champion. Moving into the closing 90 seconds of this fight.
Well, Macklin said he would give it everything, and he has done that. There is no question he's backing off. Now, doesn't want to do that. We're almost home. Just keep driving forward. Whatever you have left, summon it up.
Well, here we go. If ever there was a time for a massive attack to catch the eye of the judges and maybe sway this contest one way or the other, then these two fine fighters are the men to do it. And Sturm is the first to attack. Now back comes Macklin.
I just think there's a difference in quality in the work at the moment. You know, Sturm, real eye-catching stuff. Macklin slugging it out, but not really landing cleanly.
Last 40 seconds. Good right hand from Sturm. Macklin has to suck it up. Tries to keep it close. Hooks to the body. The uppercut in there as well. And then the test of strength that Sturm holds on. Good right hand from Sturm. But back comes Macklin. Oh, look at this. Almost the sort of action which makes the hair stand up on the back of your neck.
Well, I think Sturm has responded like the true champion he is. Right hand from Sturm, a beautiful right hand.
This is terrific from Sturm, and the crowd all around this arena on their feet. Sturm is right on top to the final bell. Macklin raises his arms, but what a finish for the champion, Felix Sturm. And it might be that in Germany that has proved enough, and maybe he's kept his title. Certainly the corner thinks so, but what a fight that was. What a tremendous fight.
I have a dead level giving Sturm the last round. I don't think there's any question he won the last round. I have it 1-1-4, and we have to say, if I have it as close as that in Germany, then we cannot expect Matthew Macklin to be given any favours. Lots of close rounds where you either went with the work rate, the determination, and just the sheer punch rate of Matthew Macklin, or the quality, you know, and the economy of Felix Sturm, the champion. I went with Macklin in some of those rounds. If the judges thought the other way, then Sturm keeps his title. But the best I can do for Macklin at the moment is a draw. And if that's how I feel about it, he needs a lot of luck here to be leaving Germany with this title. I hope he gets it. He deserves it.
What an effort it was from Matthew Macklin. Written off in some quarters, but he gave it his all in there. And as Jim was speaking, he leaned over the ropes to ask how we'd got it.
Yeah, well, he knows it's close. He knows he's boxing away from home. He knows he couldn't have put any more into this. All we need is a little bit of luck. All we need is a couple of judges who are impressed by aggression, work rate, will to win, and what you're prepared to put on the line. Because Macklin come up tops, without question, in that department.
What price to draw? Matthew Macklin. If he wins this one, it's going to be 50 wins on the spin, and that's a nice scene as they congratulate each other. 50 wins on the spin for trainer Joe Gallagher. There's Macklin's very likeable manager Brian Peters as well in there, congratulating Felix Sturm, who, let it be said, being here in Germany this week, it's been a very pleasant experience to be around this guy. He's a class act, and they've run a terrific promotion here, but has Macklin done enough?
Well, I think there's no question Macklin had the early part of the fight, Sturm had the later part of the fight. So it's how you see the middle rounds, whichever way the middle rounds were scored, that's who's going to win this fight. There's no question Sturm come back like a champion in the last 4 rounds. Macklin got off like a champion in the first 4. So it's all down for me to those middle rounds. But boxing away from home with the history that we have, of German decisions, he'll be very fortunate to get a verdict here.
Well, the heart says Macklin. Years of covering fights around the world and watching that home advantage can prevail just makes the head, even at this stage, say Sturm, but that's going to go down as one of the fights of the year. One of the fights of any year. It was superb.
That was a tremendous battle, and what it was class as well. It wasn't just sheer excitement. There was excitement in every round, but we also had quality, class, 2 real good world-class performers. It was excellent.
Felix Sturm with his family and supporters around him. Matthew Macklin's dad, Seamus, is up there in the ring, waving happily to the Irish fans. They think they've got it, but we wonder. Brian Peters punches the air and waves to the Irish fans. He thinks they've got it. But it would be no surprise if it were to be a split decision. No surprise if it was a draw. Michael Buffer is just waiting to give the pronouncement. It's coming close. This must be awful for a fighter to have to wait for this. Just dreadful.
I'm just sitting here hoping that two of the officials...
Here we are, here it is.
Levi Martinez scores about 115, 113 for the Knife Macklin. Roberto Ramirez scores it 116 to 112 for Felix Sturm. Jose Ignacio Martinez scores it 116, 112 to the winner by split decision. And still, WBA Super World Middleweight Champion, Felix Leonidas Sturm.
It was an epic fight. Matthew Macklin gave it absolutely everything. But we said it might happen here in Germany. The judges have leaned towards the German champion. Maybe class of work over volume of work. But what a fight we've witnessed. Felix Sturm is still WBA middleweight champion of the world.